Right now, as you are reading this, somewhere in the world, a child is not sleeping peacefully, not dreaming about the future, but holding on to their parents while the sound of explosions echoes outside. And the truth is, this is not a movie, this is not something far away that doesn't matter. This is real, this is happening right now, and it is getting worse. Because the conflict involving Iran, the United States and Israel is growing more intense every single day. What makes this moment so dangerous is not just the violence itself, but how quickly it is spreading, how fast it is pulling the world into uncertainty, and how close we may be to something much bigger than anyone expected. History has shown us one thing very clearly: when tensions rise to this level, it only takes one moment, one decision, one mistake to change everything. And right now, we are standing in that exact moment, where the future feels unclear, where fear is rising, and where millions of people are silently wondering what will happen next. This conflict did not start overnight. It has been building for years through political tensions, failed negotiations, and deep divisions. In early 2026, everything reached a breaking point when massive military strikes began, targeting key locations inside Iran. This led to retaliation across the region, missiles, drones and attacks spreading across multiple countries, creating a chain reaction that no one seems able to fully control. Within just days, hundreds of strikes were launched, causing destruction, loss and chaos on a massive scale. Encyclopedia Britannica. What makes it even more serious is how this conflict is no longer limited to one place, it is affecting the entire world. One of the most critical areas in global trade, the Strait of Hormuz, has been heavily disrupted. This is not just any location, it is a route where nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes every single day. Now ships are being attacked, routes are being blocked, and global trade is being shaken in ways we have not seen in years, with tanker traffic dropping dramatically and energy supplies being disrupted across continents. Wikipedia. And when energy is affected, everything is affected. Oil prices rise, transportation becomes more expensive, food costs increase, and suddenly people who are thousands of miles away from the conflict begin to feel the impact in their daily lives. That is exactly what is happening right now. Countries across Asia are already struggling with rising fuel costs, electricity shortages, and economic pressure, forcing governments to ration energy and prioritize basic needs, while businesses suffer and families worry about how they will manage in the coming weeks. AP News. If that was not enough, the global food situation is also getting worse. Experts are warning that this conflict could push millions more people into hunger, with estimates suggesting that up to 45 million additional people could face severe food shortages if the situation continues, raising the total number of people in crisis to record levels. That is not just a number, that is millions of lives, millions of families, millions of stories that could be changed forever. Reuters. This is where the reality becomes impossible to ignore. Behind every statistic, behind every headline, there are real human beings. There are parents trying to protect their children, families forced to leave their homes, and people who had dreams, plans, and hopes for the future but are now just trying to survive the present. That is the part of war that numbers can never fully explain. The emotional weight, the fear, the uncertainty, the feeling of not knowing what tomorrow will bring. When you take a moment to think about it, it becomes clear that no one truly wins in situations like this. Even those who appear strong, even those who appear in control, carry losses that cannot be measured. War does not just destroy buildings, it destroys trust, it destroys stability, and it leaves behind scars that last for generations. We have seen this time and time again throughout history, and yet, here we are again, facing the same kind of moment, the same kind of uncertainty, the same kind of risk. What makes this even more complex is that the situation continues to evolve, with power structures shifting inside Iran, leadership becoming more rigid, and military actions continuing despite heavy damage. This shows that the conflict is not something that will simply end overnight. It is something that could continue, escalate further, and pull even more countries into its impact if it is not handled carefully. The Washington Post. In the middle of all of this, people are watching, waiting, and hoping that somehow, something will change, that the situation will calm down and peace will still be possible. That hope, even if it feels small or uncertain, is what keeps humanity moving forward. Without hope, there is nothing left to hold on to. That is why moments like this are not just about watching the news or discussing politics. They are about something deeper, something more human that connects all of us, regardless of where we come from. At the end of the day, we all want the same basic things: safety, stability, a chance to live without fear, and a chance to build a future for ourselves and our families. When those things are threatened anywhere in the world, it affects all of us in one way or another. So the question becomes, what can we do in a situation like this when everything feels so big, so complex, so far beyond our control? The answer may not be simple, but it is meaningful. We start with awareness, understanding, empathy, and most importantly with intention. The intention to choose peace over conflict, compassion over division, and to remember that even in the darkest moments, humanity still has the ability to come together. That is where something powerful comes in, something that does not require power, money, or influence, something that exists within all of us: prayer. Not just as a religious act, but as a human act, a moment where we pause, reflect, connect with something greater than ourselves, and focus on what truly matters. So right now, wherever you are, just take a second, slow down, breathe, and let go of everything else for a moment. God, we come to you with heavy hearts, because the world feels uncertain, because there is fear, because there is pain, because there are lives being affected in ways we cannot fully understand. We ask for peace, not temporary peace, not silence between conflict, but real lasting peace. We pray for the people in Iran, for the families in Israel, for the soldiers of the United States, and for every innocent life caught in between. We ask for protection, guidance, and strength in moments of fear. We ask for healing where there is pain, and hope where there is despair. We pray for leaders, that they choose wisdom over anger, that they choose dialogue over destruction, that they understand the weight of their decisions and the lives that depend on them. One decision can change everything, one moment can shift the future, and we ask that those moments lead toward peace, not conflict. And we pray for humanity, that we do not lose ourselves in division, that we do not forget what connects us, that we remember that beyond borders, beyond politics, beyond differences, we are all human, and we all share the same world, the same future, the same responsibility to protect it. As we come out of this moment, as we open our eyes and return to our lives, there is something we carry with us. A reminder that peace is not just something we wait for, it is something we choose. In our thoughts, in our actions, in the way we treat others, and even in the way we see the world. Because the truth is, the future is not decided by conflict alone. It is shaped by the choices we make every single day. Even the smallest choice, the choice to care, to understand, to hope, can create a ripple effect that goes further than we realize. Right now, in a world that feels uncertain, in a time filled with tension, that ripple of hope may be more important than ever. Because even in the darkest moments, even when everything feels divided, there is still a chance for something better. There is still a chance for peace, and that chance begins with us. Because in the end, no matter what is happening around the world, no matter